Page 11, Cradle Song, very famous melody by Brahms. It's a nice little arrangement of it. In this lesson, they're talking about a pedal point. It's a technique used in music, not just piano, but music in general. However, specifically for piano is how I'm going to talk about it. It's where you're holding a note out longer than what maybe the written music says to, and it happens again and again and again over on this pedal point. It sort of brings it out. I'll talk about it more later in the lesson. I'm going to go through the process I use for learning a piece of music. Let's see what we get. I look it over. It's about 4 lines long, treble, bass, clef. There's 2 sharps in the key signature. We're in the key of D major. I don't know if you're doing scales or not, but if you are, do the D major scale. If not, don't worry about it. It's whatever your teacher's telling you to do. And 3/4 time signature, but we only have 1 beat in the first measure. It's a pickup measure. Therefore, the other 2 beats should be somewhere else. If you look at the end, the last measure has 2 counts, so that's the first 2. Now, both hands are busy because we got 8th notes going nuts. So let's take it one hand at a time. The right hand starts 3rd finger here. Remember, all the F's are sharp and all the C's are sharp, so it becomes part of the hand position. 3 and 1, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and now they want thumb. If you don't fit up in there, go ahead and just 2nd finger. Because that's okay. That's a good fingering for that. That's fine. You don't have to use thumb. If you have real little hands, you don't have a choice. But if you have really little hands, you fit up here. Bigger hands don't fit up here all that well sometimes. So you can do a 2, 3. And the 3. They want 3, 4. Remember, they're repeated notes. So, and we change hand positions on repeated notes a lot. So that's fine. Don't really have to. I could do it. That's fine. But I'm going. Then reach up. They want thumb. Now this is measure 7. Here. Then here. I disagree. You have to consider what's coming when you decide on a fingering. The fingering in the book is a suggestion. The fingering I give you is a suggestion. The fingering your teacher gives you is not a suggestion. You do what they tell you to do. While you study under them, just know that a different teacher might tell you something different. But this bit here on measure 7, and then here, I disagree. Because I don't want to end with 4th finger, I want to end with 5th finger. Because those 8th notes at the end of that measure, measure 8, are down here. I don't want to end here and then come out down here. That's too much. So I want to end with a little finger. So here, rather than thumb, I'm going to use 2. Just scratch out a little bit, 2, and then 4. That's all. Then reach down, and I'm going to play both of those D's with the thumb because I got to come back up. And if I got to do that, I'm just going to use the same finger if I can. Now, there's some pieces that are quick and they have this kind of a thing in it where you can't. You got to use them. That's tricky and it's hard. And this is a slow piece, so I don't see any reason to make it any harder than it is. So on measure 8, for the 8th notes, I'm going to use thumb on both. Then claps. And then they want you to come down here. No, that's just poor fingering. I want to connect this. I want a fingering that works connected. I'll do the phrasing and all that later. Right now I want it connected. So I don't want to go from here to here. This is measure 9 or measure 10 here. I need another fingering. So on measure 9 we're here, and then I'm going to reach up 4th finger on the half note for measure 10. Now I can go a 2 and then a 3. I'm right there in position. I don't have to do all this stuff they're telling me to do. So again, slowly, go back to measure 6 here. Measure 7, 2, 4, and reach down, then claps. Now measure 10 is a 4 here, and then a 2, 3. And same fingering again. Now 4. That's what I'm going to recommend you do. I can connect all of this very comfortably together. Left hand. Well, left hand, we just got these broken chords here. And this chord together is a D major chord. And I'm recommending 4th finger on the F sharp if you can. Well, some people will teach 3. I disagree. I'm going to use 4. I teach 4 in my arpeggio videos. I teach 4. Unless you have really little hands, you just can't reach it. Then you use 3. But otherwise, use 4. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Measure 4, different one. Now you use 3. You can get away with thumb here because you can raise the other fingers up. They're out of the way. Only be up here long enough to play it and then come back out. So that's an E there in measure, what, 7? Then the last line, last couple of measures, you're down here. Use here, you can use that for the last measure. I don't know how big your hands are. So once we have an idea what that is, then we try putting the hands together and see what kind of a mess we have. Now, I might hesitate all over. I don't care. That's fine. So just here, 3 and 1 and 2. It's just really tricky because there's completely different rhythms in each hand, and it's just, so you take it out, just take it a measure or so at a time if you have to and work it out. And then once I have the hands put together, then I go over really slowly and get rid of the hesitations. So it's a steady beat. How slow you go is not important, but a steady beat. You can speed it up later. Then the articulation. Well, it's all connected except maybe for the phrasing if you can figure out where the phrases are. Because these curved lines in the right hand and the melody, they may be slurs. They may not be phrases, because who knows. Just here. I have to play the melody kind of quickly so I can hear the sentences. That's what I'm after, the musical sentences. So here, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Connect all this together. Now lift up. Connect all that. So I'm lifting up for the phrases that make sense to me. What does it sound like? Does it sound like a complete musical thought, or is it just a little bit of a thought? So it's like on measures 9 and 10 and all that. I connected all that together. To me, that's all one sentence. Same thing with the last line. The left hand, those are slurs, you connect them. I'm just passing weight from one note to the other. Then the dynamics. They apply to the melody. It's the right hand. Softly, whatever you think soft is. Then you get go up to moderately soft there. Come down, soft again. See the arrows? You're going to go up to moderately soft. This piece does not get loud. And at the end, you come down. So very soft. The left hand has to stay out of the way in the background. So soft, very soft. See, I'm playing it too fast. I'm just trying to get an idea of the dynamics. And once I have that, then I may think about the speed. Gentle. 1, 2, 3, 1. One, 2, 3, and that's a gentle speed. And then we add the pedal. We're pedaling the harmony. Why do we pedal? Sometimes we do it to pedal the harmony when all this. lifting it up for the rest. We don't want to smear it all together. So it's just for the harmony. And this is where this pedal point comes in. The D in each hand. It's the same note over and over. It's a pedal point. It's kind of an important note. Important note. Now we have to watch out on this pedal because in piano playing, pedaling is sometimes you get something but you have to give something up. You can't have it all. So which is more important? What I'm getting or what I'm giving up? Because I may have to adjust the pedal. There's different styles of pedaling. There's different opinions on it. There's different techniques for it. I personally like a clean melody. So it's like in measure 5, they want pedal. I don't like that sound. That's too much for me. Same thing for measure, 7? Yuck. I just don't like that. Ugh. I would rather have a clean melody. Well, that means I'm going to lose out on this. So what do I do? Well, one thing we can do is what we call finger pedal a note. We let the finger hold the note down longer than it says to in the music so we can hear it longer. Let's pretend that there's no pedaling in here at all. And what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to hold the first note down. Because I want to hear that note throughout the measure. Throughout. So what I can do on these measures where I don't want to mess up the melody, I'll just finger pedal the D so at least I get it throughout the sound. Now on here, because the eighth notes are going so quickly, I pretty much got to push the pedal down with the note or I won't catch it in time. So push it down with the left hand. And lift it up after I play the note in the next measure if I want to connect it. So slowly it's here. See, I lift it up after I play it. But if if it's a phrase, I didn't want to connect it, I'd lift the pedal up with the hands. So it makes a difference. See, I'm adjusting the pedal a little bit on the melody because I don't want to smear the melody up. So I don't want all that. What I actually did is I lifted it up on the last beat. This is typical in 3/4 time. Sometimes we'll just lift it up on the 3rd beat. If I tried that throughout here, we get this. It cleans it out a little bit. It's a different effect, a different interpretation. Everybody will be a little different. However your teacher tells you to do it is fine. But I think probably on these measures, like measure 5, I'm going to lift it up on the 3rd beat. This way I don't have to finger pedal the note. And on measure 8, I would like those to be by themselves. So I'm going to lift the pedal up here. I'm finding that I'm actually doing this throughout. I am lifting up on the 3rd beat when there's 8th notes. I'm just instinctively doing it out of habit. I don't want to smear the 8th notes in the melody. I want them clean. So I have to lift the pedal up. So the piece again. There's one way of doing it. Don't copy me. You feel it. Remember 1, 2, 3, 1. At the beginning is go to here, go to here, here. Feel the natural accents. And that fermata at the end, I'm going to hold that quarter note 2 counts instead of 1, so I play it, stay with the metronome. Otherwise, you just hold it out as long as you think it feels right. It's good enough. The fermata in the upper staff, you're holding out to match whatever you do in the left hand. So that quarter note controls on how long you're going to hold it, and then both hands come up together. And the pedal, of course. Let's play it together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. Now on this one, I'm not going to pedal it because you hear the notes better without the pedaling. So I'll give us 2 counts. Now let's try it together very slowly. Ready and go and.